There's one in Bethesda that's Reconstructionist.
And
really?
I sent a little brochure, but I forgot to bring it. That showed, you know, they had a little brochure that, you know, for everyone to read, like most places do, and it talked about the upcoming events.
Nice.
They had some men's workshops, they had yoga workshops, and then they had one social event that they called Jews and Brews. I thought that was funny. I'm not really a big drinker myself, but I just thought the wording was funny. We were, you know, sitting there in services, and suddenly my sister-in-law goes, and I look and it says Jews and Brews.
That's funny.
So, do you all live around here in this area?
Florence for me.
Oh, nice, nice.
West Springfield.
West Springfield. Okay, you're a little closer to us. Did you go to that train show the other weekend?
No.
I believe we should.
How's your wife doing?
Very nervous.
Neurologically okay. Everything else no.
Uh-oh.
But I'll chat with you a little bit later.
Nice yarmulke.
Oh,
That's from his
You're right.
I love it.
Very
It's
nice.
a nice shade of blue. I like the white
Very
around it too. Good
Thank
taste.
Oh, it matches the talit. That's nice.
It's in the parent job
That's
description
exactly why I
to
picked
embarrass
it.
you. It's in the parent job description to embarrass you. I do it to
Mission
myself.
accomplished.
All right. Are you coming to the Purim spiel in
Is that tomorrow?
February? No, tomorrow I'm having a rehearsal.
Okay.
You're welcome to do that. We accept new members of the cast. It's Sunday morning. I think it's for the 25th.
Yeah,
So we are on page 61.
We got it. My Alma might be able to.
We're with you.
Oh, okay.
Modet ani lefanefcha melechai v'kayam. Modet ani lefanefcha melechai v'kayam. Modet ani lefanefcha. Modet ani lefanefcha. Last three lines on the left-hand side. May this be an auspicious time, Adonai, for my prayer. Your love, O God, is great. Answer me with your true deliverance. If you haven't made the bracha on your talit yet, on page 62, right about the middle of the page, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehit atei batzitzit. Page 63, second paragraph. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama Tata bi Tehora. me or answer Amen at the end of the bracha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, enabling us to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, making me in the divine image. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, making me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, making me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, giving sight to the blind. Melech haolam, clothing the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, releasing the bound. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, raising the downtrodden. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, creating the heavens and the earth. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, providing for all my needs. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, guiding us on our path. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, strengthening the people Israel with courage. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, crowning the people Israel with glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, restoring vigor to the weary. On the left-hand side, last 5 lines, may we find grace, love, and compassion together with me in your sight and in the sight of all who look upon us this day and every day. Grant us a full measure of loving kindness. Praised are you, Adonai, who bestows loving kindness upon God's people, Israel. On page 83. Baruch Shamar Vayah Haolam Baruch Hu Baruch Hashem Bereshis Baruch Omer V'Yosef Baruch Hashem B'Kayim Baruch Shamar Yachid Chei Ha'olam Yimnach Meshuvach Mefarad Ak Shema HaGadol Baruch Atah Adonai Melech Mehulal Vatish B'Chaut. Bottom of 85. Last 4 lines. Rum the moo, Adonai Eloheinu, V'hishtakavu, Le'adam Raglav Kadoshu. Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu, V'hishtakavu, Le'adam Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Middle of 86. Hoshia et amecha, uvarech et nachalatecha, urem v'nasem ad haolam. Hoshia et amecha, Middle of 87. Torah Adonai Tamimah, Torah Adonai Tamimah, Torah Adonai Tamimah, Meshivat Hafesh, Eiduk Adonai, Ne'emana, imateti. Ikudei Adonai Yesharim. Ikudei Adonai Yesharim. Ikudei Adonai Yesharim. Page 88, get in the middle of the page. Mi ha'ish echafetz hayim ohev yamim lirato netzor l'shom chavevra usvatecha midaber lirma sur me'rav aseito b'kei shalom b'rofeinu. Back to the top. Mi ha'ish echafetz hayim ohev yamim lirato. On 94, the song for Shabbat. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat tov lehodot la'Adonai ulezamer l'shimcha el yom ulezamer l'shimcha el yom lahagid b'boker chazdecha v'emunatecha b'leilo Alei asar v'alei novel Alei higayam b'chinor Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat tov lehodot la'Adonai ulezamer l'shimcha el yom ulezamer l'shimcha el yom ki simachani Adonai b'falecha b'masei yadecha ranein ma galu masecha Adonai me'yodam ku machshavotecha Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat tov lehodot la'Adonai ulezamer l'shimcha el yom ulezamer l'shimcha el yom. Last 6 lines. Tzaddik tamar yifrach ki erez avonam yifkeh shetulim Techa, O Yaluka Seva.
Ashrei Ha'am Shekachalo, Ashrei Shalom Shalom Yelavo.
Tila LeDavid, Aramim Kol HaYamelech, Baruch Hashem Kol Yalam Boed.
B'chol Yom HaVochecha, V'yafot Shimcha Yelom Boed.
And the rest to ourselves. You open your hand, your favor sustains all the living. Tehilat Adonai Yedaber Pi, Vivarecha V'Soshem Kachel Yalam Voed, V'anachnu Nivarech Ya, Be'ata V'yad Olam, Hallelujah. On page 99, the last 5 lines. Yeah, hallelujah, et shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado, hodo al eretz v'shamayim, v'yarem kerem yavo, tehila lechol kasito, livnei Yisrael, Hallelujah, hallelujah. Page 100 in the middle of the page. Hallelujah, hallelujah. left-hand side, bottom paragraph. From Egypt you redeemed us, from the house of bondage you delivered us. In famine you nourished us, in prosperity you sustained us. You rescued us from the sword, protected us from pestilence, and saved us from severe and lingering disease. To this day your compassion has sustained us. Your kindness has not forsaken us. Never abandon us, Adonai our God. 105. Okay, Baruch Shem Pilak the Manu over up in the show. Okay. Mi Melach mi Yishmalach mi Yarach. Alachna Shabbat Chana Fower. Whoever says about Suzach, I'm going to be for Shemecha. Hagibur Manetzach, Vanora, Benarosecha, Hamelech, Haya Oshe, like he say, Ram Benisa. Middle 105. Shokenat Maharam Bekadosh Shemao. B'fi Yisharim Tithalal, B'ritzadikim Titbarach, B'shel Chasidim Titramam. Ubekerev Kedoshim Tidkadash Umakalot Rivavot Amcha Beit Yisrael Al Kol Divrei Shirot V'Tishbachot David Ben Yishai Avdecha Meshifechta Yishtabach Shimcha Load Malkeinu. Brachot v'hoda'ot v'yatza v'yad olam baruch atah Adonai el nochadol batishbachot el hahoda'ot adon hanifla'ot abocher b'shirei zimra melech elchei ha'olamim. On page 107 we read together lines 3 and 4 in Hebrew out loud. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam Yotzer or Upore Koshech Oseh Shalom Uvareyat Hakol Hakol Yoduch Hakol Yishapucham. Efes Miltecha Goleinu Limot HaMashiach Ve'endom Melech HaMashiach L'Tchiyat HaMeitim. 108. El Adam Akal Hamasim Baruch V'Vorah V'Kol Neshama Gadlo V'Tzuva Malei Olam Da'at U'Tmuna Sovevimosa Hayot HaKodesh V'Chol HaNekavot Baruch Masayadecha V'Shasita Yifaruch HaSelah. Titbarach Tzureinu, Makenu V'Gavaleinu, Parakadoshim, run 110. Kulam Ahuvim, Kulam Berurim, Kulam Giborim, Kulam Asubim Avir, Ritzot Hanam, Kulam Pachim V'Piyam, V'Tushav V'Tar V'Shirazim, V'Ruach V'Shapim, Farim, Aritzim Makishim, V'Mamlichim, Et Shem Ha'oel HaMelech, HaGadol, Yivarbanot, HaKadoshu. V'chulam Mekablim, Aleim Al-Machat Shemayim Zem, Yizeh, V'Rishut Zelazeh, Ayishiyaz, Ramanachat Rochasafa, Rovenu Akidosha, Kulam Yechadonim, V'Yomrim V'Yirah, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Yisrael, V'lo Kol Ha'aretz Kevahudam. V'afanu Kai HaKadosh Baruch Kadol Mitnasim Limat Serafim, V'yom Mishak V'yomrim, Baruch Yevadai Kavah. Ohar Chadash Al Tzion Ta'ir V'Nizkef V'Lanu Me'Rol Yamrod Ruchat Adonai Yotzer HaMorod Ava Rabba. What psalm's Ava Rabba?
Yeah.
Ava Rabba Avtanu Ava Rabba Avtanu Ava Rabba Avtanu Ava Rabba
Shema Yisrael.
Adonai Echad.
Adonai Echad.
Adonai Echad.
Adonai Echad.
I'm sure I'm close to it.
Yep.
Not exactly it. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha uv'chol yadecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavta hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam V'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'aderech, u'v'shakvecha u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam liot al yadecha, v'hayu l'tatafot bein einecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'v'isharecha. Bottom of the page. Emet Shatahu Adonai Eloheinu, Velohei Avoteinu, Malkeinu Melech Avoteinu, Avoteinu, Go Aleinu, Go El Avoteinu, Yotzreinu, Tzur Yeshuateinu, Podeinu Matzileinu, May Olam Shemecha, Ein Elohim Zulatecha. We're in 114. Ezrat Avoteinu Atzahu May Olam. Happy is the one who obeys your mitzvot, who takes to heart the words of your Torah. Five lines above the Michamocha, with me rather than call and response. Ram v'nisa gadol v'nora, mashbil geim u'makbi ashifalim, motzi asirim u'fod danav v'yoser ta'alim, v'yom Eliyahu Yisrael v'yet shavamei lav, hilom Eliyahu baruchum bara, Moshe v'Yisrael chanu shira, v'simcha rabba v'yamru ulam, mi'kamocha bo'elim Adonai, mi'kamocha nedar b'kodesh, naharat zehilot, osei feleh, shira chadasha, shimsu v'yulim shimsas vat hayam, Yachakomadu v'mlichu v'yamru, Adonai yimlach li'olam v'oed, Tzur Yisrael, Yisrael, Uvdei chinumecha, Yehuda v'Yisrael, I guess for the optics of the camera, instead of there, I'm going to be here. 115b. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor V'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot U'Mevi Goel Livnei B'neihem L'man Shemo B'Yahava Melech Ozer Ufokei Moshiach U'Mogei Baruch atah Adonai Abraham Ufokei Tzara Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Meitim Atah Rapha Hoshia Ruach U'Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechayei Meitim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayim Emunatov Lishenei Afar Michamocha Umito Elach Melech Meimitu Mechayeh Umasmiach Yeshua B'ne'eman atah l'chayos neitzim Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaMeitim Nekadesh Hashem V'Avod Kishem Agishim Oto B'Shmei Marom Kakatuv Hayad V'Yecha V'Korazeh El Zeh V'Yamar Kadosh
Kadosh Kadosh Adonai Tzvaot Melech Eskivodo
Az B'Kol Rash Gadol Adir B'Chazak Mashmi'im Kol Midnasim Yimad Serafim Yimatam Baruch Yameiru
Baruch Kevod Adonai Nikol
Mikhalcha Malkeinu Talviyah V'Timlach Aleinu Ki Mechakim Anachnu Lach Natai Timlach B'Tziyah B'Karav Yameinu Li'olam Ha'et Tishkam B'Karav Yameinu Li'olam Ha'et Tishkam Tidgadal V'Tidgadash V'Tov Yerushalayim Yircha L'dor Vador Netzach Netzachim V'Einu Tirena Malchusecha Kanor B'Shirei Uzecha Ayidei David Mashiach Tzidkecha Yimloch Adonai L'Olam
Zion Gadol Hallelujah
L'dor Vador L'dor Vador L'dor Vador Malachim, Yushartef Anakish, Kidushartef Anakish, V'shivchat Eloheinu, Mipinu Lo Yamush V'yolam Voreh, Ki Abel Kadom V'Kadosh Baruch Atah Adonai, Away El HaKadosh, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, b'matnas elko, ki Zemon, Zemon, Karatalo, Kelil Tiferet, Piroshal Natato, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, b'matnas ve'elko. V'yamda lefanecha, al har Sinai, u'shnei lekot avonim, horim b'yado. Yismach Moshe b'matnas, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, v'chatu bahem, shemirat Shabbos, v'chein katuv, v'sorasecha, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, Yismach Moshe b'matnas, b'matnas ve'elko. Need to start us off? V'sharu
plan. Yeah, go by.
So what? Oh, voting, yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. So.
Oh, we're so sweet. Here? Here? Oh.
Page 118, the bottom of the page, the motive.
Modi manachnu lach, Modi manachnu lach. We thank you, God, for all your gifts. Modi manachnu lach, Modi manachnu lach, Modi manachnu lach. We thank you, God, for all your gifts. Modi manachnu lach.
Thank you. What's the status of our minion at the moment?
It's here.
We're still here. Okay.
We're good.
I'm just
Mike
nervous
leaves
that,
to
you know, Mike leaves to get Joan, somebody leaves to get Mike, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's like a bad movie or something.
We need a whistle.
138. Yidkara Vikrashim Meirava. Yom Adirach, Yeruteh, Yom Lech Machateh, Chayechon, Yom Echonum, Chaycha Ben Yisrael, Makom is Makar, Yom Ramein, Yesh Meirava, Mevarach, Yom Omei Almaya, Yitbarach, Yishnachach, Yitbar, Yitramam, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitalash. Shemay, good job. Hello, Mikabachat, Mishirat, Tishrat, Nechemata, Mirabim, Abim, Romain, Salt and Uvalta, the Chayisrak, and Rishmaya, Bim, Ruamein, Hesham, Rabba, Mishmaya, Chaimolino, Israel, Bim, Romain, Osashom, Bim, Ramavi, Asashom, Oleno, Baka Israel, Koyoshvei, Tevel, Bim, Ru, Amen. So we are still working our way through Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our ancestors. We're at chapter 3, and we're at sentence 18.
What page is that?
So that's going to be page 266. So we're still talking about Rabbi Akiva, and we're at sentence 18, or we're at paragraph 18. So, this was a favorite teaching of his. Let's have Mitchell do 4 lines. Humans are beloved. Can you find it? On page 266, 18. Enunciate and project.
This was a favorite teaching of his. Humans are beloved, for they are created in the image of God. They are exceedingly beloved, for it was made known to them that they were created in the divine image. As it is written, in the image of God were mortals made.
Okay, good. Jackson, can you do the next 4 lines?
Israel is beloved, for they are called God's children. They are exceedingly beloved, for it was made known to them that they are God's children. As it is written, you are the children of Adonai your God.
So you have all these previous paragraphs trying to say, you know, do this, do not do that. But this is sort of to take you back for a moment and say, we love our children, we correct them when they make mistakes, but we still got to give them a hug every once in a while and remind them that we're not going to be negative with them all the time. All right, Mike, can you do the top of 267?
Israel is beloved, for a precious instrument was given to them. They are exceedingly beloved, for it was made known to them that they were given a precious instrument with which the world was created. As it is written, for I gave you good doctrine, forsake not my Torah.
So you see the sentence is Ki lekach tov natati lochem torati al tazovu, right before Eitzai. So the instrument that we have, if you use the instrument correctly and heed it on a regular basis, not just your 2 hours here once a week, but in your entire lives, if you carry out the Torah, then this makes God very, very happy. So the human body was made aware of the heights to which one can legitimately aspire. In his Guide to the Perplexed, the Rambam, Maimonides, interprets B'Tselem Elohim, we are created in God's image. That's in the first paragraph. You go back to 18, to the beginning of 18. It is written, in the image of God were mortals made. B'Tselem Elohim asa et ha'adam, that we're made in God's image. Not that God has a nose and God has an ear and God has a hand, but metaphorically we have to use those words. But in truth, God, it doesn't have any shape. Doesn't have human parts. But it's the intellect. It's the ability to achieve higher and higher, to take what you learn today and apply it tomorrow, and take what you learned tomorrow in terms of how that all worked out and apply it again. That makes us so much better than the other animals. Not that, that you can't train a dog, and the dog learns more and more and more, and I can't do some of the tricks that I, see some dogs do, but in the end, applying intellect is something that we're, that we're much better at. I didn't say it's exclusive, but we're very good at it, because if left in the wild, animals wouldn't build cities and wouldn't build highways and wouldn't build buildings to davening. So that's something that when we're in God's image, we're talking about God's image more of intellect than actually having a few extra pounds on them or anything like that. The goal of the Jewish people is to carry the message that humans are beloved throughout the world. One of the things that we, having gone through all that that the Jewish people have gone through and interacted with the rest of the world, one of the things that we leave behind the world is our scholarship, and even in Korea, where there are very few Jews, in China, there are classes given on Jewish Jewish teachings, because we've left our mark on the world. And our job is to continue to give that message out there, not of hatred, not of strife, but mostly to say exactly what this says. Humans are beloved, Israel's beloved, but humans are beloved is the message that we're supposed to give to other people. All right, so we're making progress. Next time we'll pick up somewhere on 267. The next one is very, very interesting, because the question is do we have freedom of choice? That's a tough one. That's always been a tough one. All right, so thank you. Let's go back. Where are we? We're at the Torah service. Do we have someone that wants to do the Torah service? We're on page 139. Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai, v'ein k'ma'asecha, malchut sheva malchut, kol u'memshaltecha v'chol tor v'ador Sadness. So I was reaching to my sadness, and I found a prayer when sad. Master of the universe, see the sadness in my soul. Heal my grief and despair. I wish to do your will, but my sadness overwhelms me at times. Let your instruction touch my being, that I might find comfort in the world, that the one that you have created, and that I might be a comfort to others. May the soul you have given me give me the strength to turn sadness into joy and despair into song. Master of the universe, send healing. Page 140. sense that we have the Ten Commandments in it. And of course that's a great honor if you get called to the Torah for part of that. We're going to, normally if in an Orthodox shul you wouldn't divide up the Ten Commandments, but we're going to do that. We're going to do a little bit of division within it. And when we come to it, you should be able to, if you're able to physically to stand, you should. We're on page 439, sentence 14, Vayered Moshe min Hahar. I know that Rich, you're there. Okay, for the second Aliyah. 17 to 19.
Yes.
Okay. So
Whatever Aliyah that is.
Whatever that, I told you it's going to be slightly different numbering system. All right. No, I gotta find it.
We're the 14th.
No, it's line 14. Verse 14.
439.
439.
Verse 14.
Okay.
Talmud, Talmud, Kohen, Shana bat Yitzchak, the Fidela, Kohen.
Baruch Hu Adonai Baruch.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayered Moshe min Har el ha'am vaykadesh ha'am vaychapsu simosam vayomer Elohim heyu nechonim l'shloshes yomim. Sorry. Al tikshu Elisha vayhi vayom hashlishi biyos haboker vayhi kolosu barakim v'nan kaved al ha'or. V'kol shofar chazak miyot vayacharat kolam asher b'machaneh. Rich.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Talmud, Levi, Nitza bat Menachem v'bat Yahalevi. We're on verse 17 on page 440.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Vayotze Moshe et ha'am likrat ha'Elohim min ha'machaneh suvu bitakti ha'ar v'har Sinai ashan kulo mipnei asher yarad alav Adonai ba'esh v'ya'al ashanu keshen hakivshan v'hecherad ha'ar me'od vayahi kol hashofar holech v'chazek me'od Moshe yidaber v'ha'elohim ya'anenu b'kol
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה
Yamod Shlishi. Fidel. Did I get that right? Fidel?
First bit.
Excuse me?
Feitel, Sholem,
Fidel. Yeah. Fidel Shalom. Ben
Moshe Leib,
Moshe Leib.
Uvarachamea.
Uvarachaya. Welcome back. It's great to see you.
Chus Adonai Borach.
ברוך אדוני ברוך לעולם ועד
Borach Olam Vored. Borach At Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'Nosan Lanu Es Toraso. Borach At Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen. Vayered Adonai al Har Sinai al Rosh Har. Vayikra Adonai l'Moshe al Rosh Har. Vayal Moshe. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe rein ha'ed ba'am. And Yersu Adonai lir'os. V'nafal mimenu ra'av. V'gam ha'kohanim hanigashim Adonai yiskadashu. And Yifros ba'em Adonai.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Nosan Lanu Torah Ames B'chayim Ulam B'Tisvachenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Nosein HaTorah. Yes.
You're looking for whatever the name. Jacqueline, what is your Hebrew name?
Yosef.
Bat,
Adira and Moshe.
Bat Adira Moshe.
Talmud Revi'i.
Yosefa.
Yosefa Bat Adira V'Moshe. Or Moshe Bat.
I know.
Baruch et Adonai Hambora.
Baruch Adonai
Ha'olam Ba'ed. Baruch Adonai Hora Le'olam Ba'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Torah. Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah. Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Moshe Adonai Lechalam Lalos al Har Sinai. Ki ataydas abanu lemor Abelator Vikidashto. Vayomer Lav Adonai Lech Reid Yolisata V'Arolima Vakonim Ha'am Al Yersu Lalos al Adonai. And Yifrod Spa Vayered Moshe Elohim, Vayomer Aleihem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan v'tohenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Welcome back to you. Where are we?
So we're on the bottom of page 441. And we're going to be standing during the Ten Commandments. We're at chapter 20 on page 441. You're going to chapter 20. I'm going to make that the fifth aliyah. And in fact, because it's the fifth aliyah, I should make a Mishabera for all those who are sick. Mishabera Chablusein Rabbi Yisaf Yaakov, Saruka Raka B'Leah, Yivarki Rabbi Sacholim, Silavat Leah.
Robert Carlin, Deb Austin,
Shalom Betzalel.
Hal Harris,
Sarah View, Sherry Greeny, Luke Strong.
Hal Harris.
And all others that we have in our hearts, or we haven't thought of, or we don't even know about, but are part of our congregation. What's that? I used her Hebrew name. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimolei Rachem Aleim, Lo Yisrael Lo Poso, Yishlach Hem Meher Refuah Shlema L'Chol Avram V'Gidol B'Tov Shel Kol Yisrael, Chazekus Yidehos Ki B'Tzarcheim Hashabal V'Zman Karev V'Nomar Amen. All right, fifth aliyah.
Talmud, Shishi, no,
Chamishi.
Chamishi, Ita Bat Nufta.
And by now you should rise.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Haolam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vaydaber Elohim v'skal korim ha'olam Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzeiticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mibeit avadim vayelecha Elohim echerim al panai v'aseh lecha pesach v'chol tmunah asher b'shamayim mimal v'asher b'oretz mitachas v'asher b'mayim mitachas lo haaretz lo zishtachag Elohem v'lo siabdeim Yenochi Adonai Elohecha Elkana V'kei Rabbanon v'osal banim Asher le'shivei ribeim l'sonai Yosef chesed lo alafim li'ohavai L'shomrei mitzvosai. It's over there. Right where the buckle is there.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yashakoach.
Yamod Shishi, Yosef ben Shmuel.
Ruach Adonai Hambarach. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Ve'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amin nasan lanu es torso. Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen. Lo sisa Hashem Adonai Elohecha v'ashav Hila Yinaker Adonai Eis Asher Yisa Eshimo Lashav Zachar Es Yom HaShabbos L'Kadsho Sheshes Yomim Tavod Yasisa Kamalachtecha Yom HaShvi Shabbos L'Adonai Lovecha L'Saseh Kamalachtecha Atavicha Vitecha Atacha V'Masecha V'Emtecha V'Gercha Asher B'Sharecha Ki Sheshes Yomim Asa Adonai Es HaShamayim V'Es HaAretz Es Hayam V'Es Kol Asher Ba'am V'Yadach V'Yom HaShvi'i. Where do we know this next line from? Okay, Beirach Adonai Es Yom HaShabbos V'Yikadshe.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher nasan lanu toras emes v'chayei olam natah b'sochenu. Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen.
Where do you know the line? Okay, Beirach Adonai Yom HaShabbat V'Yikadshe. The next line is Sabri. Baruch atah Hashem Borei K'Hagacha. Okay.
Yamod Shlishi. What are we up to, honey?
I'm going to call it Shavi. Seventh Aliyah.
Yamod Shvi'i. Reuven Lev ben Mordechai.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen. You need a cheat sheet, it's right here. L'man yarikun yomecha adama asher Adonai Elohecha nosein lach lo sirtzach lo sinach lo signo lo sanebrecha et shaker lo sachmo beis reyecha lo sachmo deishes reyecha v'avdo v'amaso v'sharo v'chamaro v'chol asher l'reyecha v'chol ha'amro v'mesakalos v'savapidim v'es kol ha'shofar v'esar ha'shein v'yarham v'yandu v'yamdu me'rachav v'amru Moshe daber Imanu v'nashma'a v'yidaber imanu Elohim pen namus v'yomer Moshe l'racham al tibra'u Yilevavur nasos eschem bohu Elohim uvavur tiyeh yiraso al pnechem levilti techta'u v'yotmod ha'me'rachav Moshe nigash al harafel asher sham Elohim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Kaddish.
Either way.
Want to sing it?
Yeah.
We'll all sing it.
Let's do
Right
it
here.
together.
The barbershop quartet.
Oh, all right.
Yitkadash.
Yitkadash Shemei Rabbi Yom Divrach Yerusei Yamlich Malchusei V'chayev Yom Echad Uchayev Beit Yisrael Ubizman Kariv Ibru Amen Yeshnei Rabba Mevorah Li'olam Li'olam Yitvarah
Yitvarah v'yishabach v'yitramah
Yitvarah v'yisnaseh V'yitzarah V'yitzaleh V'yitzaleh Shemei Kusharihu Le'olam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Ta'amiram B'yama Ibru Amen.
Baruch Mordechai ben Pinchas v'Mendel.
Yamod, Maftir, Baruch Mordechai,
Ben
Ben
Pinchas
Pinchas,
v'Mendel.
Mendel.
Mendel. All right, so we are on page 449. We're at sentence 15. Call it off. 15. Top of 449. Baruch Adonai Baruch. Baruch the Olam V'Oed. Baruch Adonai L'chol Asher Baruch Adonai Mikol Amim. V'Asmanos Torah. Baruch Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen.
V'chol Olam Roim V'Sakalos V'Salapidim V'Eskol HaShofar V'Yasar Hashem V'Yaron V'Yandu V'Yamdu Me'Rachav V'Yamru El Moshe Daber Ata Imanu V'Nishma'a V'Yidaber Imanu Elohim Pen Namus V'Yam Moshe Olam Al Tira'u V'Levavur Nefos Estem Boho Elohim Uvavur Tia Yerasel Al Penechem Uvilti Techta'u V'Yamod HaMe'Rachav U'Moshe Nigash El Harafel Asher Sham Elohim Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Chalam Asher Nasan Lanu Terasem Eschelon Tavisochenu Baruch Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen.
Supposed to find the little sticky. Okay. Well,
Excuse me.
various stickies here
Are they still
are not the greatest stickies anymore. This one, I guess they get used up after a while.
And this isn't sticky anymore. That's still sticky.
No, that's sticky. Well, I can certainly spare one. A great collection of them. The question is, where are you reading on Monday? You have to pull out your cell phone and see what's solved. Do that.
24.
Not the most Shabbos-tic thing going on.
I'll hide.
Come up with it, yeah,
See it right there.
we're doing it for we're doing it for God, right?
Yep.
Look and see where it's all going. See how many emails I get in between. Usually.
Oh my God.
I get 100 a day. So I might have you beat. I am 70,000 unread emails behind.
Well, you're competing with me on that.
I'm
I don't know if it's anything to be prideful of, but okay. All right. We're there.
Is it 24?
22, sentence 18.
20, yeah.
22,
Page 468.
page 468, yeah. And
Starts at 22:18.
22,
Is
18, Koshi.
Zodech La Elohim Yacharam.
Well, okay.
18. Call, I'm sorry. Call
Shochay.
Sachet.
Shochay. Shochay, the dot's on the right hand side.
Shochay, yes.
Call
Shochay.
Camera's on me too. So
These pocket tours are great.
Small. A small sentence.
you don't have the camera.
It's pretty far.
You know where you're
Yeah. I would have gone ahead of sentence, but all right. Will this work?
Yeah, I'm not going to
Yes,
be here
that
Monday,
will
so
work.
it's going to be Joan and Michael. Steve's not here either.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Somebody to
Thank you
pick
very
up.
much.
All right.
Yes.
Somebody to pick up the Torah and.
Yamud Chava Michael ben Noach Berachaleah and Talmud Galila Ahuva bat Aharon v'Zachava.
Vayarkidem k'mo egel levanon v'siryan k'mo v'enriyim
Kol Adonai, Kol Zilavotesh, Kol Adonai, Yahil Midbar, Yahil Adonai, Mikat Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Yechal Echalav.
Vayechesof Yorah v'vehechalav k'lo mer kavod
Adonai Amahu Yahashua Vayeshem Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Oz Le'olam Yitain Adonai Elohim Elhamon Shalom.
Sedek Hasidech Yiranein Nova Davin of Dech Also Shekin Kilech HaHakov Nasati Lachem Torati Al Tazovu Eitz Hayim
Yahweh
so much. Elbow bump. So if you take back your Eitz Chaim's and return to the Parsha. So many things, almost every sentence of this parsha can be its own sermon. So this Yitro describes God's revelation of Mount Sinai. The Israelites stand at the foot of the mountain and witness the thunder, the sounds, and the lightning, and they hear God's utterances. So if you look at chapter 19, sentence 16, or on page 439, they had to spend 3 days getting ready, physically, emotionally, spiritually ready. To find some laundromat to wash their clothes, probably next to the bank where they took their Egyptian funds and turned it into half shekels for the upkeep of the Mishkan. There are all kinds of magical things that they had, but they were able to wash their clothes. They were ritually pure for this particularly holy moment. On the third day, the bottom of page 439, there was thunder and lightning and a dense cloud upon the mountain and a loud blast of the horn, and all the people in the camp trembled. So this is a fearful moment? Is this a joyous moment? There's another interpretation. There's one interpretation that God picks up the mountain and puts it on top of the people, and he said, accept the Torah or else I'll drop the mountain on you. That's called a little bit of coercion. And there's another one that says Moses walked with the people towards the mountain like the family walks with the bride towards their marriage, the people of Israel being the bride and God's being the groom in a sense. This is like a marriage ceremony, and the mountain, instead of being something threatening, becomes the wedding canopy. Even though I think it's a little dark underneath it, but it's still it's a more joyous interpretation. I don't think there was a need to tell the people not to touch the mountain. It says, don't touch the mountain. The people actually were afraid of the mountain. They stood back. And they said to Moses, every time that there was any utterance from God, and there's all kinds of controversy as to how much God actually said, because the people said, every time we hear God's voice, our soul starts to leave our body. It's not a very pleasant sensation. Like we're on the edge of death with every word. Why don't you give us the rest of the commandments? So there's various thoughts that God says all the commandments. God says only one commandment. God says Anochi. God says like a breathless ayin, where the people said, no, we can't take it anymore. Our souls are leaving our body. So it sounds like that not only did they not need to be told don't go near the mountain, they're backing up. They're a little afraid of all that their bodies are experiencing and their souls are experiencing. So an Israeli poet, Yehuda Amichai, has a wonderful poem in which he wonders why God needs to create such a scary and daunting spectacle. Why was this formative event choreographed so frighteningly. So let me read you Amichai's poem, Yehud Amichai's poem. My father was God and did not know it. He gave me the 10 Commandments, neither in thunder nor in fury, neither in fire nor in cloud, but rather in gentleness and love. And he added caresses and kind words, and he added, I beg you, and please, and he sang keep and remember in a single melody, and he pleaded and cried quietly between one utterance and the next. Do not take the name of God in vain. Do not take it, not in vain. I beg you, do not bear false witness against your neighbor. And he hugged me tightly and whispered in my ear, do not steal, do not commit adultery, do not murder. And he put the palms of his open hands on my head with the Yom Kippur blessing, honor, love, that your days may be long on this earth. And my father's voice was white like the hair on his head. So Amichai prefers to learn his 10 Commandments from a loving, gentle, musical father rather than from an imposing and thunderous and furious God. And he suggests that we do not need a God of revelation, just a good father. By the way, Amichai, of course, you can tell, grew up with a very good background, and he took some steps back from it. He wasn't quite as observant in his later years, but he sure knew his stuff. That's for sure, because he's always coming back to it, whether he's strictly observant or not. This is what his poetry is about. So let me get some thoughts from you. Do we as human beings, as children, learn more by love or by fear? By threats or rewards?
By love and by awards. It's positive.
Okay.
I guess I see a bit of shade of a gray in the middle, because this is extreme, love or fear. Whereas I think, yes, learning most by love, but also with a degree of carefulness, thoughtfulness, caution.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
Well, I'm going to do Mitchell and then.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I would say that fear teaches only for, like, it teaches well, but only for a short amount of time, and until people aren't afraid anymore, and then they start to disobey, where love might take a while to ingrain in someone, but it'll last longer.
Better change my parent. No, I'm just joking.
Okay. I'm sorry. There were more comments.
There are people who are taught by fear. I think you're a sum total of a lot of things, and I think there are some people in this world that are mainly motivated by fear. So yes, a gray area. Yeah.
These are, again, slaves. They haven't thought for themselves in quite a while. They're 49 days from, in the desert. They're 49 days out of Egypt after hundreds of years of a slave mentality. They don't know how to think for themselves. They're in a sense, they're pretty childish. Somehow, don't touch that. Don't touch that. I mean, I can put plugs in there so that my grandkids don't. But eventually, if you get a little bit of a shock or they feel something and they say it's hot, and they pull back and they say, by the way, if you go anywhere near the stove's hot too. If you think this hot glass of tea that you have mine that you just touched is hot, the stove's even hotter. So you can beg a child, you can plead with a child, you can reward a child, but they almost have to feel something hot. And hopefully it's just my cup of tea that they're feeling, so that you teach them not to actually put their hand near something that's got fire in it. So there's got to be some fear. there's got to be some, natural consequences. That's why we put them in the corner, and that's why we, you can't just all hug them every time. So is fear of God a positive religious emotion, and how so? Okay.
Just another thing on the fear thing, I would also say that humanity is often driven by fear. Like, we live in communities because we're afraid of being alone. We develop armies and protection because we fear being destroyed. We eat because we fear being hungry. Certainly, fear does help progress the species along.
Okay. So that's the natural consequences that you fear, and the negative, because it's not all good. It's not all good. If you don't eat lunch, I don't eat lunch. Okay. An hour later, I'm hungry. Why didn't you eat lunch when I offered it to you? It all has to come together in an immature mind, and certainly these people are thought of as being I actually want you to look at something on page 449. Maybe my point will be a little clearer here. Sentence 17 says Moses answered the people. Okay. 16 is, you see the end of 15, the people stood at a distance. Again, they didn't have to be told not to touch the mountain. They're afraid of it. You're the one that should be speaking to us, they said to Moses, and we will obey, but don't let God speak to us because we're afraid of dying. We could be getting too much of an overdose of God, and our bodies can't take it. Like I said, in one legend, their souls start to leave their body. Moses answered the people. Be careful how you dissect this. Be not afraid, for God has only come in order to test you, in order that the fear of him may ever be with you, so that you do not go astray. So does God want you to fear or not want you to fear?
God wants a level of fear, but what God is pointing to is a positive thing. It's in order to get people to do something that's positive, and not necessarily out of fear, but just sort of being.
So what's the key word here? If you look over the Hebrew side, the end of 17, Uvavor tieh yirato al pneichem levilti techtavu. So it says that fear of him may ever be with you, so that you do not go astray. So the word yira, we're translating as fear.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, so that you do not go astray. To me, I'm like thinking of that in terms of we all have to have boundaries. We all have to have limits to stay within, so that we don't go astray, so that we can, because we're accountable. God makes us accountable. I have a deep belief in God, and I know that when we talk about fearing it, it's a healthy fear that we're accountable for whatever acts we do have. But there are boundaries and limits that we all have to follow, and we have to teach that to our children so that they don't go astray. I do know that I've raised two sons that from birth, and I could provide a lot of love and a lot of positive reinforcements all throughout their childhood, and with that came healthy boundaries, healthy limits They were very good about it. I didn't have to provide fear as much to them because they grew with that. I have another child who didn't grow with that originally. The boundaries have to be very, very bold. So there is some fear that needs to be put there because it wasn't there to begin with.
Okay. So, yeah, please.
Well, I was just going to say, I very much resonate with what you're saying, and at the same time, and again, this is what works for me, rather than walking around in the world with a fear of God, I find it more helpful to think of it as walking around with an awareness of God.
Okay. Let's see if we can do a little translating here. So the word is yirato at the end of 17. That's the root, and that's a fear. All right? Let's go to page 167, and you can let go of this page because this is sort of the end of where we're going. 167. We're obviously not in this parsha. We're in the Jacob story. And 17, Vayira Vayomar, shaken he said, Ma Norah Hamakam Hazeh. The same root. He has the dream. He realizes he's in a holy place, and he says, how awesome is this place? Awe-inspiring, not awesome like, the kids say, oh, yeah, like, it's awesome, but it's awe-inspiring. It's so the same root, Mando Rahama Kamazeh. How awesome is this place? This is none other than the abode of God. So he becomes, and this is where you went, Bonnie. Jacob becomes more aware of God. He goes on, he's able to ask for God's protection. So there's a big difference between just plain fear and fear of God. It's not necessarily frightening. It's not necessarily distasteful or a reason to distance oneself, but rather a force which attracts one towards divine service. So that's what maybe that's, the awe of God is different. The same Norah, the same Yira, the same root is being used differently because that's really maybe a better word if we can, if we can try to translate it a little bit differently. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to ask you to do some thinking. If you were at Sinai, now we were all at Sinai because our souls were at Sinai. That's a basic belief that all our souls were at Sinai, but our bodies weren't. So if your body was at Sinai, along with your soul, would you love God? Would you fear God? Would you be in awe of God? That's something that you have to, for you to think about.
All three.
What's that?
All three.
All three. Okay. If you can alternate between that. All right, thank you.
If you don't mind, I'd like to make one comment that I've been thinking about through this. When I was young and I was going to Hebrew school and just kind of growing up into my teens, I felt, and I think my friends did too, a really huge fear in terms of consequences of being Jewish. And with God on the mountain, with Sodom and Gomorrah, with somebody turning into salt, with all of those, and that was coupled with the family that I was growing up in, both on the Hungarian and Russian side, filled with all kinds of superstitions about don't do this, don't go into the house, don't go out of the house, don't wash, all these things that were part of being Jewish, of being kosher and being Jewish.
And so by the time I was 20, I was really almost all fear. But I think that the way Jewish tradition and even the rabbis have looked at this changed dramatically by the time I became a teacher in the Hebrew school. I had to unlearn all of that and look at a whole different approach to what God was doing and why and how God was a presence in everyone's life. And I was really, as we were talking about this is what was going around in my head, was what a big transition this was.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, but it was also a transition within the Jewish people. It wasn't just me. It was a cultural.
Everybody thought that way. Yeah, you're right.
Page 182. Thank you. Ain't Eloheinu, ain't Adonenu, ain't Eloheinu, ain't Moshiachenu, mi Eloheinu, mi Adonenu, mi Eloheinu, mi Moshiachenu. No del Eloheinu, no del Adonenu, no del Eloheinu, no del Moshiachenu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshiachenu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshiachenu, Atahu Shektiru, Avoseinu, Levanecha Etoret Hasanim. Page 183. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon HaKol, l'oseis gedula yoser b'reshis, shelo asam v'yelei ha'arsot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kohem, v'gol aleinu k'chol ha'monah, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim, u'motim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, she'urat hashamayim v'yosei haaretz, u'moshe yikara b'shamayim imah, u'shchina suzo, v'gavei meramim, u'Eloheinu Elon, emes malkeinu ev'suloso, kakosu v'tzoveloso, v'yodata hayom v'hashevoso, elevavecha, hu Adonai, hu Elohim, hashamayim imah, v'al haaretz, mitachas כי המלכות שלך היא עומדת ובכבוד, כתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, Your sites for this past week were for Samuel Karukin, Samuel Garber, Rebecca Wolf, Doris Goldberg Selby, and Francis Brahms Evart's Zichronam Livracha, may the memory be for a blessing. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 184. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shnei Rafa V'yomad Yivrach Yerutei Yamlich Machutei V'chayei Chon V'yomei Chon V'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael V'galav V'zman Kariv V'yamru Amen Yehesh Shnei Rabba V'vorach V'yolam L'omei Omaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitawar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh Yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shmei Kutsha v'richu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbachata v'nechamata Damiran v'yalma v'yamru Amen Yehi Shlomo Rabba min Shemaya V'chayim aleinu v'yakal Yisrael v'yamru Amen Oseh Shalom v'yamramav v'yaseh Shalom aleinu v'yakal Yisrael v'yamru Amen. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom, everybody at home. And first, I'd like to just begin by thanking Max for a really wonderful service. It was a very, great Devar Torah, and Yashakoach is right. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we've got exciting things coming up in March. It is almost Adar. So, tomorrow at 9:30, come around 9:15 if you want some coffee and cake, appropriate cake. And we have a full rehearsal schedule for tomorrow morning beginning at 9:30. And a dress rehearsal. I think everybody got the email saying come in as much of a costume as you can pull together for tomorrow. So black. Nope, black. Everyone's wearing black. Yes. This is, if you're just tuning in, this is for our Purim spiel. We haven't had a Purim spiel in many, many years, and we're doing one this year. It will be on Sunday, February 25th. That will be the Sunday before Purim, and it will include a light lunch and a play and just a huge amount of ridiculous fun. And
Hamantash and baking in the morning.
And Hamantash, yes, thank you. And beginning with Hamantash and baking. So, that tomorrow is our rehearsal. Tuesday evening there's an activities and fundraising committee meeting at Cindy's house, and that's at 7:15. The next things that I would kind of want you to be aware of, also not leaving Purim, but we are once again collecting food for Holyoke's homeless children. The teen board of Rachel's Table every weekend sends the homeless children of Holyoke that come to quite a few. They are given string backpacks with food for the weekend in them, individually sized packages of food that they can take home with them and eat over the weekend. We have been part of this project for quite a long time, but this year the Tikkun Olam Committee has taken it over, and we're doing it the same way as we did the Rosh Hashanah Margaret's place. So downstairs in the small social hall are bags with a list of food that we need. We want them to be returned by Purim. So take your bag. I didn't say that, but fill your bag and bring it back. So that is part of Purim. And I think that those are enough announcements for now, unless there's something that somebody wanted. Yeah. Okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Adonai Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, V'yetz Nasa B'chatzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nivra, V'yacharei Kivos HaKol Levada V'sur Evli B'Yetzara Nevu Nisi Umanosli Menat Kosi B'Yom Ekra B'Yado Akid Ruchi B'Yeti Sham B'Yahira B'Yin Ruchi B'Yatsi Adonai Elohim. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shabbat